Ancient runes, weird contraptions. This place is an arcanist's dream.
Opening the door, you see a... The Meister is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, Godwoken?
Meister Siever's stare bores into your soul. It is still and...
Indeed, some people seem to think so. Mostly they're idiots, but in some cases they're mad dogs.
The Meister rests her hand on her arm where one of her wounds has just reopened. She squeezes hard, ignoring the trickle of blood running down her claw.
I pray you're more idiot than mad dog. It would be a shame to expend all this effort just to see you put down. I hope so, for all our sakes. To accept divinity is to accept responsibility. If granted divinity, you would have the power of all 7 gods at your disposal. You could heal any wound, pull islands from the sea, right any injustice. But make no mistake, the Divine has only one duty: to protect this world from the Void. The Divine cannot use her power for anything else. When you become the Divine, there is no more self.
For just a moment, her eyes soften as she looks at you.
It is no small thing to ask, but it is your duty. Without a new Divine, Rivellon will die. Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch divinity from the jaws of the Void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your... Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard. Sauce in the glowing fountain.
The Meister looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood.
Quite. Mind you, being torn asunder by a Voidwoken would be even more inconvenient.
The Meister points sharply to the ingredients cupboard.
And do not lose anything. These ingredients...
Opening the door, you see a select... After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot nestled between... You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl, and kick the door of the cupboard closed. you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world. As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling slowly, sinking into the depths of your own soul.
The deepest recess of my soul. It looks like the Hall of Echoes.
Bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, you spot a figure you could only describe as a second self. It looks haggard and weak, its very voice but a feeble echo.
My chosen! Come closer, so that you may see me as I truly am. Look me.
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle. Everything becomes brighter, sharper. Blacks and whites become glorious bursts of color, then fade back into their accustomed spectrum.
Blind eyes, shine brightly. Speak the spell and see. Please.
God is the strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stands the god Ranith in all his spectral glory.
You know me now, don't you? I saved you from drowning. I blessed you, made you powerful. And now I've come to seek some power in return. Your god-woken soul is my last refuge, my last bastion. May as well make the best of what you have to offer.
Ranith nourishes himself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel it deep down inside yourself.
Ah, yes. Just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god. Don't you dare to be ungrateful after all I've done for you. I sheltered you. The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet by droplet, we are being drained. We're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion. Our battle is a work in progress. I never said we can't turn the tide. You must realize that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. We are I. Together we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive the onslaught of the void, we stand no chance unless we become vastly more powerful than we are now. That means there is but one place we can go. The Well of Ascension. It is a lake, a pool of pure source in which the powers of the Seven lie united. We gave them up freely to create the first divine. Each of us donated half of that which makes us gods. To bathe in the lake is to become our chosen. That is where the road to divinity leads, and you must be the first to reach it at all costs. I know. Or did you think I chose you for nothing more than our shared humanity? One must never enter into any endeavor, though, without realizing the stakes. The void is stronger than ever. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension, not to bathe in the source of the Seven, but to take it. All of it. Only she who claims everything will be everything. The void's doom. This world's liberator. It's very simple, really. They will either bow to you or be undone. But of course, that is what they are saying to their own God-woken as we speak. We both know they won't bow, just like we both know you will never bow to them. Only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard our world. One, at the expense of all others. So make no mistake, my champion. chances are the road to divinity will be paved with dead gods, their blood on your murderous hands. But don't let that dismay you, for these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence, to save your kin, and your loved ones, and the world they live in. Of course, the ends do justify the means. Life, or the eternal void. If you choose life, you choose the well of ascension. I will lead you there when you're ready, when you've become a true master of the Source and speak the language of creation itself. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a God-woken can, and wield its most powerful spell.
Hoarse laughter rolls and echoes into infinity.
You flatter me, my chosen. But if all I had to do was give, you would have long since have received. We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first, you must learn to channel the Source in greater volumes. That is why you need to seek masters of the Source. You must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So, return to Rivellon and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond with the Source. Once you have, you may return to me here. Something that will make you understand that for a god, there is precious little difference between the living and the dead. Source is. It is a constant, a subject of neither time nor transience. All of life is Source, and in Source it is, immortally so. You have the vision of a god now. Eyes that can see spirits, the souls of the dead made manifest in Source. Speak the spell during your peregrinations, and you will see them. Where the dead lie, the dead linger. Best of luck, my champion.
The Meister stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods are...
She leans in. Her bloody...
Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
She sighs impatiently as you hack up the last of the green smoke.
You can't channel enough sauce? Gods be damned, why couldn't you have a nice simple problem? Finding an orc to dance the hornpipe, perhaps? I know exactly what must be done. You must find a master of sauce. And I could have helped you once, but no longer. The purging which the Magisters included as part of their service was quite efficient. They stripped me of my sauce.
Not enough to silence me, but enough that I would not turn their insides to lime. Enough to sever my link to the font from which all sauce flows, and certainly enough that I cannot train you. So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only sauce masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turned into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain. Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to. These are the kinds of creatures that grew bored pulling the legs from spiders and so moved on to people. Fun, however, it is the path we walk, no matter what the...
The Meister doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains her composure.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them. And you do not seem to be paying attention. Sorcerers, evil, controlling your source, saving Rivellon, please. Please tell me at least some of this rings a bell. Your focus, your only focus, must be on finding these masters, on finding the secrets to divinity. Nothing else matters. The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers, especially the powerful ones not yet captured. They would be an invaluable resource. But do be careful not to get caught. I was their guest for a time. And I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part of the experience.
And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just try to keep an ear to the ground. There may still be powerful sorcerers hiding in these lands.
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic. She hisses in frustration and starts to bind the gash.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed. And remember, do whatever it takes.
The spirit of an elegant elven woman materializes before you. She seems surprised.
You can see me. A godwoken in my presence. You honor me. I am the Meister's apprentice. I study under her, but I do not learn. I hear tales of the ritual, of what lies beyond. Such wonders, such powers. I decide to pursue them myself. Meister tells me it cannot happen, that I am not godwoken. But in my heart, I know I'm special. I try. I burn the root. I breathe the smoke and it burns me back. No air fills my lungs, only fire. When the darkness falls, I cannot cry out. I leave my life behind with a shameful whimper.
The spirit looks at you regretfully.
It is hard to hear of such power and not covet it for yourself. I lie to myself and convince myself that I am special. But I am not special. I am dead.
Killed by sorcerers, a most vile incident. A valiant warrior against the void. The path thus ended, the conclusion of a noble bloodline. Who shall rise? Who gains the title? We wait, we wander and wonder, seeking signs from the gods. May the seven usher us to paradise.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard?
What on earth is that noise?
Then you're an idiot.
That would be my stomach, my lord. Perhaps I could go downstairs for a bit of stew?
As you approach the silken-robed noble, Ifan does a double-take and laughs in recognition. He pulls you to one side.
I know this man, and he's not at all what he seems. A moment.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for
Ifan bounds forward and embraces the man, all effusive greetings. As they part, talking animatedly, the man's beard slips sideways down his face. He's wearing a disguise. Ifan laughs as he straightens the beard. They chatter away for some time, using a guttural cant you struggle to understand. At one point, the man says something and looks over at you intently. Ifan waves his hand and laughs. The man hunkers down and seems to be sketching a rough map on the floor, using an apple, some playing cards, and a fistful of threads pulled up from the carpet. Ifan claps the man on the back and turns to leave.
Well, now we know the way to the sawmill. And we know Roost thinks I'm bringing you there as part of the Godwoken contract. Hear that? Roost's camped out at the sawmill.
Telling you, if they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to hide. Friends, or Alexander the Innocent.
You're good with the magic is caging anyone up now.
Killed by sorcerers, a most vile incident.
We got a right to live,
A valiant warrior against the void. Taken too early, all hope destroyed. The path thus ended, the conclusion of a noble bloodline. Who shall rise? Who gains the title most divine? Just the earth executes, so does no man.
Bellwether, I need those reports, damn it.
Right away.
Elson, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some more.
Right away.
The Magister startles, realizing there's a stranger in his midst.
What do you want? You can't just come in here as you please. There's Magisters missing. I'm trying to conduct a bloody investigation. Are you deaf? Your business here, now. Well, mind your bloody step in future. I've an investigation to carry out, and I don't need... Yes, a vile little tinkerer goes by the name of Higba. 3 of my Magisters have gone missing of late from right here in Driftwood. All signs are that Higba is responsible.
Catching, killing, I don't care. There'll be gold for whoever puts an end to this rat. If you see anything, tell me or my men at once. Otherwise, keep the... Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time, then. I have to stop these disappearing.
I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep on your watch again.
Calm down, Brianna. Carver's got his dossier on the sorcerers. Everything's falling into place. All I need to do is... watch.
Bellwether, I need those reports, damn it.
Right away.
Nelson, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some more.
I'm watching you, stranger.
I have to stop these disappearances. My
The Magister startles, realizing there's a stranger in his midst.
I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep on your watch again.
Calm down, Brianna. Carver's got his dossier on the sorcerers. Everything's falling into place. All I need to do is... watch.
I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep on your watch again.
Calm down, Brianna. Carver's got his dossier on the sorcerers. Everything's falling in...
Head nodding drowsily, the Magister brings her voluminous sleeve up to her face.
They won't take me unawares. I'm ready for anything. See? I haven't stepped in... well, I'm ready.
She turns her back on the other Magister.
Shh. No need need to shout about it. It's just a tiny, eensy mite of a smidgen of whatever can keep me awake. No sleep. If I can just keep my eyes open, I'll be safe.
She breathes heavily as she looks past your face, pupils dark and wide as the void.
What do you want? You can't just come in here as you please. There's magistrate.
That's Magister business. Keep your nose out of it. That's all you have to say. You may as well leave.
Good to hear someone cares about our missing uniforms. If we don't find the culprit soon, I fear we'll lose another good recruit. He's a deviant named Higba, a grubby little tinkerer with a criminal mind. Some of my magisters have vanished from Driftwood lately, and I'm certain that fiend is responsible. Desertions? What do you know about desertions? This miserable town has too many gossip, but they slip away in the night, taking supplies. Cowards and traitors, all of them. Hardly. By all accounts, he seemed like just another money-grubbing nobody. He must have caught my magisters unaware. No matter, he'll face justice either way. Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time, then.
Executes 24 noblemen.
Come on, damn you. This must be the place Lohar mentioned. It looks unassuming enough.
The dwarf is unnaturally still. You might mistake her for a corpse, were it not for a slight twitch of her eyelids. She calmly opens her left eye, then her right.
What do you want?
The dwarf unfolds her arms and shoots to her feet.
All right, human. Right, glad Lohar ain't left us here to wither. Those brutes are taking their sweet time down there. I gotta send word soon. Get to it then. But tell the lunkheads that Glenn has sent you before they bash your brains in.
Maybe if we had a crowbar.
What's this? I found something.
Oh, you got rocks knocking around that noggin of yours. You have more luck asking to do them.
There we go. The door's opening.
By your own hand.
By Duna's dagger. You here to free us or kill us?
The male dwarf expels 2 lungfuls of air and glances happily at his companion.
We've only been fretting here for a few hours, but it's felt like days. That snot-nosed priest's as slippery as a snake in an Nile drum.
Ain't found nothing that lets on what Mortis is up to. Only thing we managed were to close that door and get us stuck. And if there's another door out there, never could find it.
Lohar ain't gonna be pleased.
Ain't no telling where that priest has gone to. Started acting all funny not so long ago, then flew the coop. Best we head off then. We've got biz.
What's this? I found something. A skull? It's missing an eye. As far as locks go, this one's pretty macabre. A skull? It's missing an eye. As far as locks go, this one's pretty macabre. Careful. I spotted a trap. Lohar will want to know of this. Well, this won't do. If I can get stuck, then I can get unstuck.
The shrine depicts Duna, yet has clearly seen better days. You run your hands along the exterior until your fingers graze the button noted in the... There's no mistaking the sound of stone